Good evening. We bring you the latest in the world of sports. I'm Paulo Del Rosario.
We give you the conversations you want to hear from your favorite icons and athletes. I'm Dip Dipianco. In tonight's game plan, we'll talk to the latest PBA 3x3 champions, Platinum Karaoke.
And we'll chat with Pinoy football wonder boy Sandro Reyes as he shares his journey to the Zweite Bundesliga. Buckle up, sports fans. Let's get in the game.
The comeback is real for Platinum Karaoke as they successfully claim the PBA 3x3 Leg 5 championship title. Now to tell us more about their roller coaster ride of a journey, we have with us PH Tumalip, Brandon Bates, Yves Sazon, and Coach Anton Altamirano. Congratulations and welcome to the game, guys. Maraming salamat for joining us on Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's sa inyo lahat.
And not to your partners apparently kasi you're spending Valentine's Day with us. Pero I want to start off first with Coach Anton kasi grabe yung pinagdaanan ninyo. First of all, you had to play that final with a man down. Si TH, he needed oxygen at the end of the game kasi grabe yung pagod niya. Can you tell us a bit about yung pinagdaanan nyo in this leg in particular?
I think talagang it was a roller coaster ride for us from the quarterfinals all the way to the finals. Si Nico Salva sprained his ankle in the semifinals, so they literally had to play with 3 players. So kayo ng rason kaya si TH na nawala ng hininga kasi talagang they just played every second, every minute of that game. Tapos coming into the finals, talagang we literally playing a player with one leg, a guy who was just breathing on oxygen, supplemental. So talagang it was all hard for them.
Right, grabe nga yung pinagdaanan to head to that last part. But speaking of last part, pag-usapan natin yung winning shot, of course, ni Yves Sazon. Yves, yung time na yun, you were scrambling for that shot. Umabol kayo down by 5 points. But during that last play, hinanap nyo ba talaga yung 2 points or nagkataon lang na feel mo that time, okay, I'm gonna take this and go for the win?
Play talaga namin na mag-hit talaga namin ng 2 points. After nung dead ball, si Nico nag-call lang play na pang 2 points then nag-hit kami.
Nagkataon lang na sa'yo napunta yung ball?
Talaga sa akin.
Sa'yo talaga, okay. And you knew exactly what to do. Contested shot, how did it feel when you made that shot?
Sobrang saya, tsaka siyempre memorable. Lahat ng players siguro gusto mag-game winning shot. Tapos championship pa.
Yeah. Right.
Brandon, you guys had to go through a gauntlet of guys who've won leg championships recently. And it honestly feels like the toughest road that you could possibly go through, even with one guy down. Can you tell us a bit about that journey in particular, going through each and every hurdle that you went through for this particular leg?
Well, like you said, we took probably the hardest road. And I think that made the championship even sweeter. Getting right to that last game, knowing that there's basically 3 guys that can play fully, 1 guy on 1 leg, it just makes it sweeter. Makes it all.
Right, TH, pag-usapan natin yung nangyari sa'yo, no? Yun nga, may oxygen. I'm not sure if I've heard of that ever in a game on a 3x3, pero sinubukan mo pa rin maglaro, no? How was that experience like, of course? Ano yung tumatakbo sa isip mo na, okay, kailangan ko pa rin maglaro for my team, kailangan kong subukan para may chance kami manalo?
Nung nandun na kami sa finals, kumbaga, parang puso na lang yung iiral eh. Kumbaga, kailangan din namin mag-champion, syempre. Leg 4 ata, leg 3, parang kinapos kami sa final. So, ang hirap kasi makabalik ulit sa mga ganun situation. So, ayun.
Well, Yves, kanina nag-usap kami ni Coach Anton about the fact that, okay, you didn't have as many opportunities dito sa conference na to because, well, ang gagaling ng mga teammates mo. And of course, it's hard to break in the team. Pero you're given this opportunity to be able to showcase what you got. Tapos ang dami mong pang game winner. I mean, can you explain to us, unang-una, how did it feel na you had this opportunity? Tapos how did you seize yung moment na yun?
Yun nga, leg 1 naglaro ko, tapos 3 leg ako hindi naglaro. So yung time na yun, nagre-ready lang ako always na nag-work hard. Yung routine ko everyday, ginagawa ko shooting everyday. Para pag dumating yung chance na ito, yung the time na to na makapag-deliver doon ako ng maayos sa mga tulong sa team ko.
Ton, what does it say about Ives na always ready at syempre being able to, keep in the right mindset even during long breaks? Kasi if you don't play one leg, you don't play for a week. If you don't play 2 legs, you don't play for 2 weeks. Ito, 3 linggo.
It speaks a lot about his character as a basketball player. Talagang, he literally was just ready to get his number called, and I admire that a lot about Ives. Talagang, dream ng coach siya na magkaroon ka ng player na talagang ready lang siya anytime na you need him.
Right. Brandon, this win meant stopping the back-to-back championship bids of your opponents. What does this mean moving forward para sa inyo? Does this give you a lot of confidence? Dahil, okay, kaya na namin talunan yung mga nag-champion. We can beat them. We can go against them. What are your goals moving forward for the team?
Well, coming off the first 2 legs not doing so well.
Yeah.
So this gives us momentum going into the last 2 to 3 weeks. Helps our bid for the top 4, hopefully. So it makes grand finals a lot easier as well.
TH, it's hard to win back-to-back championships. I don't think in this conference in particular may back-to-back yet so far. But obviously, yan yung goal nyo for the next leg. Pero gaano kahirap yun, and how do you make sure that you don't fall into the trap of what the other teams have had already sa conference na to?
Well, kami naman, kung ano man mangyari, sama-sama lang kami. Diyan may mga coaches namin to prepare. Prepare talaga kami maayos going to the game. So, yun na lang. Nasa amin na lang din kung paano kami magpe-perform.
And hopefully next leg wala nang oxygen na kailangan.
Sana. Sana.
Sandro, ang daming ang pinagdaanan ng team, no? We've been talking about it, we've been laughing about it. Kasi nga, grabe talaga, intense yung pinagdaanan. But if there's one thing that you learned about your team in this leg alone, what's that and what you want to carry moving forward sa mga susunod pa na legs?
Sa akin, sinabi niya, Tis, in everything we do, we're together. These guys are solid. Their chemistry is pure. Talagang, kung nakita natin sa last leg na kahit hindi sila 100%, they just never gave up. And I think that's gonna be their battle cry in the coming legs, to just keep on playing together.
Right.
Don, I wanna double up lang on the preparations that you're gonna have, especially for next week, or the next leg rather. Kasi as we were talking a bit off the air, that malalim yung grupo ninyo eh. I mean, you have other people who would also come in and do a great job. We saw Ives come in out of nowhere and scoring game winners, diba? Gaano kahirap yung trabaho mo in making sure that you have, first of all, the right mix and getting the right people at the right time to be able to do better sa susunod na leg?
It's a tough job for me, lalo na. Pero I think it's a good problem when you have 6 guys talaga who are competing and can bring their games sa mga legs namin. So I think I'll get there when malapit na. Siguro right now I don't want to think ahead. I just want to focus on the next leg para to prepare them.
Right. Ives, sanay na sanay ka tumira ng 3 sa 5-on-5, no? Ngayon, tumitira ka ng 2 sa 3x3. How is the feeling like? Anong experience playing this type of basketball? Na-enjoy mo ba siya so far dahil relatively bago ka pa lang sa sport ng 3x3?
Sobrang na-enjoy kasi iba yung competitive dito eh. Physical, saka yung tawag dito, yung fast ng game.
Yeah.
Oo.
So, mas mahirap tumira ng 3 points. Yan 2 points kasi galing ka sa defense na sobrang pagod mo eh. So, tapos delivered ka.
Iba yung cardio talaga doon. And Brandon, Coach talked a bit about the competition necessary to make you guys get better within yourselves and getting that spot for the next leg. Can you tell us a bit more about that, about how you guys compete against each other and keep each other sharp? Because obviously that has been one of the things that really set you guys apart.
Yep. Oh, well, it's just, like you said, about competing with each other, knowing that we have to prepare to play against the best, so we have to push each other in trainings.
Right. TH, again, as the veteran siguro sa team mo dahil naglaro ka na mas matagal relatively sa 3x3, ano yung gusto mong dalhin na strength ng koponan nyo na you think you can use to win more championships if ever?
Kami, may mga veterans na din naman eh. Hindi lang din naman ako. So, mas madaming ulo, di ba? Mas madali ang basketball. Kumbaga, nagtutulungan lang kami. Even pag wala si coach, yung mga katulad ni Yuchen and AL is, tinulungan kami mag-prepare last week
Right.
na maayos. So, ayun.
Gentlemen, good luck sa susunod na leg. We're excited to see what you guys can do. And obviously, hopefully, if you guys do come back with a check, maybe you can come back over here and we'll have more conversations and figure out who was the most tired. Maraming salamat, guys. After the break, we'll go inside the game with rising football star Sandro Reyes after becoming the first Filipino-born athlete to play in the Zweite Bundesliga. Stay tuned. You're watching The Game. Welcome back. You're watching The Game. There's no better way to start a new year than by making history. Now, after suiting up for the national team and the Kaya Football Club, Pinoy football rising star Sandro Reyes is headed to the Zweite Bundesliga. Find out about his journey in this latest edition of Inside the Game. Joining me now, all the way from Germany. He can't speak German yet, but we're going to find out soon enough whether or not he's on the way to learning it. Sandro Reyes, fresh joining Greuther Fürth in Germany, a Bundesliga 2 team. First of all, Sandro, congrats. How are you doing?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm doing good. Thank you for having me on the show.
Oh, no worries. It's our pleasure. Obviously, Sandro, big news. You're part of, you're the first homegrown Filipino to actually make it this far in terms of their own professional career, being part of Bundesliga 2, Bundesliga 2 side right now. Just for clarification, a lot of people are wondering, first team, under 23s, what's your situation there? And of course, what's your pathway that you have in your mind right now?
Under 23 at the moment, in fourth division. Yeah, the first team is in second division. But obviously, it's not a guarantee that I make it to the first team. It depends. Those who perform really, really well then can obviously go into the first team. Like a lot of my teammates right now have been in trainings with the first team. Some have been called up to games, have been on the bench with the first team. And I think one or two have made their debut with the first team already. So yeah, it's definitely a possible pathway, but it's not easy, that's for sure.
Some people might think like, oh, did they see tape of Sandro and then they got him? But then you actually went through a trial period and actually earned your spot.
You can't just show tapes because they don't know the level that you're playing in. So tapes are just not gonna do it. They have to see you live. Trials are definitely harder than a normal training because there's obviously the pressure of having to be the best in those training days. If they're gonna even consider you, if you're gonna be the same level as the players they have, why are they gonna take you? So you have to be, you have to give them a reason to take you. And the first few days were not my best, but I played decent in the friendly, so I think that was the deciding factor.
How do you see yourself fitting in this type of competition, this type of environment?
As I said, I think I brought something different to the team. My teammates all told me that, like, oh, after the friendly, nobody really plays like you. We don't have your style here in the team, so it would be really great to have you. And I guess the coaches saw the same thing, so yeah.
Well, good job. And a lot of people obviously they made the connection. Luther Fürth, club of Rocky back in the day, back when he used to play in Bundesliga, and now you're there. Was there any connection between Rocky and actually making sure that Luther Fürth take a look at you as well? Because some people might think that would be the case too.
Yeah, I was already gonna come to Germany. Hadn't decided which club to try out for, and then Shockey came to me with the idea, I can definitely get you a trial in Greuther Fürth. I know the people there. Obviously, it's not a guarantee. You still have to perform in the trials. So yeah, after assessing all the options, I thought, okay, let's go there first. And luckily, I could only go to one club because the transfer market actually closed on January 31. So I actually only had one chance. So I had to think really hard about where I wanted to go because I arrived January 20 or something like that. So I only had a few days to show them that I could be in the team. I didn't have 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Did he call you as soon as you made the announcement? As soon as you found out that you were gonna be part of Greuther Fürth?
He was the one who called me on the morning of the 30th. He called me. I was like, "Hey brother, sorry, it wasn't enough." And then after the silence, he was like, "Nah, I'm kidding. Then they're gonna take you." So, not the nicest move there, Shockey, but yeah.
So Shockey told you that you got in the club. Is that it?
Yeah, they're the ones. Because I think he asked them, "What's the situation with Sandro?" And then they told him even before they told my agent. So yeah.
Well, I don't know how you feel about Shockey right now after that episode, but of course, I can only imagine.
He was a massive help throughout the whole trials. He was motivating me, supporting me, giving me all the tips that I needed to, just telling me they all have 2 arms, 2 legs, same as me, and it's no different. Football is the same everywhere. Have fun, no pressure. But obviously he was telling me, like, okay, bro, we have to start thinking about plan B if this doesn't work out. And then when he was starting to think about these plan Bs, I was like, oh God, that means I'm guessing he's not very optimistic, but in the end, that's very nice.
In your own post, you say that, quote, and I quote, "This one is for those who were beside me through it all and for the young boys and girls in the Philippines to dream big, one big para sa bayan." You're like 19 and you're already dedicating everything you do to the youth today. I mean, that's putting pressure on yourself. How do you feel about that?
That part is just motivating a lot because I know that I get a lot of messages from the young kids and they're always supporting, and it's nice to see that whatever I do makes them motivated and happy, and that they're able to believe in themselves also. So that was a massive help. That whatever I achieve is a victory for them as well, because then they believe in themselves even more. So
I know this is just the start of your journey, and it's going to be a very long one for sure. Sandro, once again, congratulations kasi grabe talaga yung ginagawa mo. And to be that young and trying to make a difference, or at least play at a different level where not a lot of people thought that they could, at least here back home. Good luck. It's going to be tough, and we're all rooting for you. Cheers.
Yeah, thank you very much, Paula.
That was Sandro Reyes inside the game. After the break, we'll take a look at the latest local hoops news. Stay tuned. You're watching The Game. back. You're watching the game. In the PBA, the TNT Tropang Giga makes a surprising move to change their import after tallying 5 wins in their last 6 games. TNT acquires former NBA player Rondé Hollis Jefferson for Jalen Hudson. Hollis Jefferson last played for the Portland Trail Blazers, but spent most of his NBA career with the Brooklyn Nets. Hudson was averaging 33.8 points per game and 9.3 rebounds as well as 4.2 assists in the 6 games he played. While both imports stand at 6'6", head coach Jojo Lastimosa says Hollis Jefferson's play style will complement the team more moving forward.
And in college hoops news, head coach Pido Harencio is back with the UST men's basketball team. Coach Pido signed a 3-year contract with the Growling Tigers after finishing the last UAAP season at the bottom of the standings with only 1 win and 13 losses. Harencio was the head coach of the Growling Tigers in their last championship back in season 69 in 2006.
Coach Pido coming back, giving a lot of hope to the UST Growling Tigers who have had a mixed bag in the last few years. In fact, he was the head coach last time they were actually in the finals against Asal back in the day. And, good luck to Coach Pido. But again, Dip, thank you very much for doing the show on a Valentine's Day. Alam ko busy ka after the show. You have to go through a lot of traffic.
Hindi naman ako nagmamadali. Pwede naman mag-usap pa tayo about this news.
Okay, absolutely. Tama. And of course, that big news is about the change between...
that one's exciting, bro.
Yeah, Rondé Hollis Jefferson coming in, adding more NBA talent to the fold. And can't wait to see them.
So excited to watch PBA and UAAP in the next season.
Absolutely.
And happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day to you.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Dip Dipianco.
Catch the weeknights here on One News, One Sports, and One Sports Plus. I'm Paulo Del Rosario, and this has been The Game.